City Administrator for the City of Clinton as we follow up the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting. Good morning, Taylor.
Seth, good morning.
Good to have you in as always. We start out with how is our Mayor Pro Tem, Tom Edmonds?
I think he's doing good. Haven't heard an update. Commissioner John Weiss stated yesterday Tom's dealing with some health issues, so we're just praying for him and his wife Lindy. But yeah, don't really have an update.
Okay.
But if we do, we'll certainly let people know. But yeah, we'll be thinking and praying about Tom for sure.
Yeah, if folks didn't see it this morning, Tom is in intensive care in Peoria. So hoping that he gets out soon and can enjoy the holidays at home with family and get back to helping Clinton. So very good. Yep. Well, Taylor, with that, I know that we have come and gone on the deadline for filing for the mayor. There's going to be a special election for the mayor's chair. Highlight some of these things for us.
Yeah, this is kind of a special circumstance for us, not the mayoral position, but just the special election halfway through the year. Taking a look back, Mayor at the time, Roger Sulik, resigned, and this is the first election since his resignation that we were able to hold a special election. So, yeah, I think we had 6 candidates officially turn in their packets. We had some more take them out. But, yeah, 6 of them turned it in, and we're kind of waiting. I think we're going to have to hold a primary because we had so many.
Oh, no kidding.
So there might be one in February, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So don't quote me on that, but I think that's what Clint is our deputy clerk right now. So we're talking through some of that. So some of this election stuff's pretty interesting, and the process that you have to go through and kind of behind the scenes things, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've been having Mayor Edmonds, but Commissioner of Accounts and Finance Tom Edmonds, like you mentioned, he's been our interim mayor for a while, and it'll be good to be at full force having a full-time mayor with us. And yeah, so we'll see.
Very good. So that comes up, the potential primary in February, and then, of course, the special election in March then.
Yeah, I think it's April maybe.
Or April, okay.
I think, because then the election's in April, our budget's May 1st, so their first day would be May 1st unless they held a special one, I believe. Again, the dates are kind of funky, so you could be right, I could be wrong.
Okay,
somewhere aroI'm there.
Gotcha. Now, you've been in Clinton for about a year now, right?
Yeah, I started last August.
Oh, okay, last August. I don't know why I thought it was October-ish.
I'm a seasoned vet now.
we're rolling. You know the ins and outs of Clinton like the back of your hand. Which, by the way, that's new. No, but in all seriousness, so last night, let's get into some of the things last night. And John was talking about the water issues, and I'm so glad he mentioned it because he talked about the chlorine smell in the water. I've noticed that in our water. I thought I was crazy, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But I was glad he mentioned it. That's something folks are dealing with.
Well, that still may be the case, still out for discussion.
Yeah, jury's out. Jury's not out. The verdict has been reached there, Taylor. We're just late to the party.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's a thing that's going on right now, and as we've talked about in the past, it's just we're having some things getting replaced, with our different levels and the controls that are out at the plant. It's everything right now. We another thing that's going on. We have a well that's out that we get water from the Muhammad Aquifer. So everything is okay. All the levels are safe. We've tested a bunch of different spots throughout town where they'd call up to City Hall and say, "Hey, we got we're starting to smell a little something." We'll go down and test that water, and all the levels are okay. It's safe to drink. I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. It's okay. We're keeping an eye on it. We're going to continue to just notify the public. We are testing very rigorously. We always do. So, yeah, at this point, it's just more of the well is down, so we're taking it from a different source. That's going to throw off some levels there. But it's nothing to be concerned about. We're good. It's just kind of this in between when we're updating everything.
Yeah, it sounds like some of this was expected.
Yeah, it was, and I don't know, because this is science. It's very detailed, intricate stuff that, one thing's off, it could go bad really quickly. That's not the case here. We're okay. Some of it was expected. You don't really know until you get into it, just like any other project. But yeah, we're on top of it. Everything's fine. So
what's going on with the water plant? Like, what are they doing? Remind us of that.
Yeah, so they're having a couple different just control valves. We have a lime softening system that we have out there too that's getting replaced. Again, and I encourage anybody, if you have the chance to go out and look at our water plant, I mean, obviously contact City Hall. And I got a tour of it a couple weeks ago. It's incredible, the amount of effort that goes into that. It's wild. So yeah, it's just a lot of different things. We're still working on the water tower. We're still working on the Quincy main, the design of that. So everything is still on schedule. We're applying for the EPA loan, the low interest loan through the EPA. So everything's still on schedule with it.
Yeah. Do those things move pretty slow?
They do. Yeah. It's the state of Illinois, and it's just, you got to meet certain deadlines. You have to get your notice of funding in, and there's so many steps. I mean, it's a huge project. It's $9-10 million, and there's a lot of steps to make sure that we have the funding to be able to repay the loan, the design and the engineering on the back end. There's so many moving pieces, but we're really lucky with Mead and Hunt and Greg Myroth. He's doing an excellent job working on it for us. So
where do we stand in that process?
Yeah, we're right now. We had a meeting last week to try to figure out, okay, where do we want this new water tower to be? Because then what we need to do is get soil samples, because depending on where we put it, there's going to be different things possibly in the ground where it might be a bad location for that. So I think there's a location that they've talked about in the past. It's going to be similar to where it was at now, the older water tower, but across the street there. So yeah, just figuring out those little details, and then from there we show, hey, this is project ready. We're just waiting on you guys to give us the money, and we're shovel ready, and we're going.
When is that?
Oh, it could be the end of 2025.
Oh my gosh, really?
Getting money, and then 2026. I mean, there's still a lot of time, but everything's in the works, because with this, we're going to really try to get as much as we can through this EPA loan, because it's going to cover the road as well. And a lot of times the EPA doesn't include road work in their project. So we're being strategic on how we approach this, because this is the water mains going right down Quincy Street. We need to be able to get curb and gutter in there to make sure everything flows correctly. So a lot of stuff behind it. It's crazy.
It sounds like a lot of hurry up and wait.
Correct. That's a great way to put it. Because if you're not ready and you miss that deadline, okay, that's another 3-4 months, another 6 months down the road, and you're just sitting there. Well, shoot, so we're trying to be on top of everything, being mindful of, hey, we know that we need to get this replaced, and working behind the scenes to do that. So
gotcha.
So what happens?
So we're in the waiting phase then.
Little bit of design work's happening right now. It's little stuff, and then from there it just kind of snowballs, because once you have the location, then you do soil samples, then you do all the measurements have to get updated and changed. So it's a little bit of work on our end to figure out this stuff, and then we leave it to our engineers to figure out the mathematical equations.
Yeah, sure.
Way above my head. We'll let them handle that.
Sure. Taylor Baxter, City Administrator, City of Clinton, our guest in studio this morning, following up the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting, and I'm trying to think of some of the voting items from last night. Taylor, what did the council vote on yesterday?
Yeah, we had bids for the wood waste recycling project.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Well, and then I believe this is what this is, and I need to check with Steve Lobb, because I didn't check with him on that. But we at our and I don't even know. I'm not even going to get into that, because I'm going to say something wrong, and I don't want to do that. So I'll hold off on that one until I get more information. I should know it, but
that's all right. I left my agenda in the car, so I don't have it in front of me. By the way, city website. What is going on there, Taylor?
Dang it, Seth! I knew you were going to bring it up.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to, but I had to go there to find the agenda.
I promised that by the next time that I was going to be on here, that this was going to get done. So here's my excuse, but it's a reality. We have been swamped with so many things happening up at City Hall, and being down a person certainly has not made that any faster or any easier. So I'm literally about done with it. I don't want to put it out where there's mistakes, where there's errors, and so when we bring it, it's going to be good. we're still waiting on a couple things that I need to get updated. It's 100% my fault. I'm sorry, Clinton. I know I've been talking about this, and it's a broken record. It's going to get updated, and I knew when I come in here, we didn't talk about it. And I was like, I hope he doesn't ask me about it. But
I had to ask because I had to get, like I said, get the agenda. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to make you sweat either, by the way. So
just hot. I need to take this thing off.
No, it's toasty in here. You're not wrong. It is toasty in here. So with the, I'm trying to think. Last night, what else was voted on?
We had some things for the fire department, and then the approval for the contribution for the downtown Festival of Trees. We can talk. About that.
Yeah, sure. What's going on there?
Missy Morris came in last meeting and just looking at different funding options, and she came to the city asking for some funds to help them get things going. They've talked about hiring a guy, and this is going to be so cool to see, an Olympic size ice blocks. There's 2 of them that are like 600 pounds each, and I guess this guy's going to come in and do some ice sculptures. Really just a cool thing for the community. They're going to have a train that's going to go around. So yeah, this is a great community event. The council was 100% on board with funding that and trying to help them help this grow. They're going to have more trees this year too. I think they're over 100. Last year they were, I think, 60 something, 80 something, and this thing has just grown so much. It's going to be great. And with the chamber having the Santa house, it's going to be on Mr. Lincoln's stage now. It is just going to be so cool. The guys, the public works guys, have put the tree up already, so that looks great.
Nice.
It's going to be so cool to see it down there. I can't wait. So
yeah. So and I'm I have seen where like a lot of people commenting on giving money to this cause and those sorts of things. But I wonder, Taylor, if we could have a concerted effort to bring back the concert series that we had on the square several years ago. If you know much about that or have gotten comments on it.
I have, yes, and that's one of the things that I really want to hit during our budget talks this year, because as you know, we've had some pretty good acts that have come in the past. I know Lauren Elena has been here. Sundance Head was here. He was, I think he was an American Idol guy, or The Voice, one of the two. But yeah, with that, we got to be able to prepare and plan a little bit. So, got to get with the council and figure out how much money they want to give me, and kind of go from there, because it all depends on how many acts they want to have. Do you want to have one big one? Do you want to have a bunch of smaller ones? It's a great thing for the community. I've heard it's gone over very well. We did a similar thing in Pontiac, and it's just something for people to do in the community. It's free, doesn't cost them a thing, and you just get to sit back and enjoy downtown Clinton, visit the shops, and so it's a good thing. But yeah, it's definitely coming back. We want to make sure we get that going again.
Yeah, and obviously COVID kind of put a damper on that, kind of put a pause on it, and then we just, with the search for your position, we never really got back to it, and it was always just a really good thing for the community. I was hoping to hear that's something on your radar that you want to bring back. So.
I have a big whiteboard in my office, and to do summer concerts, big and bold, underlined, capitalized, the whole bit. So yeah, it's definitely on my radar.
25 or
all things, fingers crossed. I mean, we need to budget for that. That's a huge want from this community, and I think we got to figure out a way to do it. So I think it'll happen next summer.
Well, don't let this turn into another city website issue there, Taylor.
I can't let that happen. I know.
No, in all seriousness, that would be a lot of fun to have something.
Yeah.
So is that as easy as, so what budget time is May 1?
That's our new budget,
Yeah. So is it as easy as like, you're starting the budget here probably February, March, designating dollars, and you start the calls, or do you have to do some things now to get that ball rolling?
Exactly. The more time you have, the better. But yeah, once we start those budget talks and I figure out how much money is allocated for that, start those conversations immediately. And a lot of these times, these acts, you don't just reach out to them directly. They have agents, especially the larger profile ones. So it's a lot of communication. You got agent fees, you got talent fees, all the green room, I'll put that in air quotes, things that they need when they get here, and it's pretty extensive. And I know Steve Myers had a lot to do with that, our former attorney, and he's given me some great contacts. So yeah, it's go time. Once I get to figure out the amount of money, we need to start looking at that, because their schedule's those fill up.
When do you hope to have kind of a dollar figure that is budgeted for with that?
Yeah, once we start budget, I mean, January, February,
okay.
Got to start calling these people and figuring that out. So
cool. So as soon as this summer, we could have something back.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
awesome.
the goal. Yeah,
very good. Yep. Taylor, I'll tell you what, let's break here, my friend. Come back with some more. Taylor Baxter, City Administrator for the City of Clinton, follows up the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting. More to come on the morning show.
WHOW. Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today is Taylor Baxter, City Administrator for the City of Clinton, following up the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting. And Taylor, let's get an update on City Hall. I know we really kind of dove real hard into this one over the summer, and then things just kind of flatlined. What's the latest?
Yeah, it's hard because we know that there's a need. It's been well established since the 80s that this facility is not what we need for fire department, public safety, with our police station, and obviously the issues that we've had with the elevator. We know there's an issue. So this is really the first time that we've looked at an all-inclusive facility. I think they've looked at the fire department in the past, kind of being a standalone facility, getting them some extra space. But this is the first time, hey, what would it look like for all of it to be in a different spot? So went out to bid for phase one. That's really just the design and what are we actually looking at square footage wise behind a facility that we would need. Came back, it was $700, $800 a square foot, and based on the square footage that we're needing, it came back $22 million. And it was just, okay, we know what that is now. Construction costs are increasing. It came back, $700, $800 a square foot. And so the project is not dead. I will say that. We are looking at options to figure out, okay, if we're going to look at an all-brick facility, it would be this. If we're looking at a Morton-style building, it would be this. There's no location that's been selected. We've really just got rough estimates from Core Construction and Farnsworth Group on here's the facility you guys were looking at, square footage. Here's the estimated cost based on what we're seeing throughout the industry. So again, it's not dead, but we're trying to be strategic because this is going to be a project that's going to outlive all of us, hopefully. I mean, City Hall right now is over 100 years old, and we got to be smart because we don't want to completely deplete all our reserves. We don't want to go out and get 100% of our bond issued, because then if something comes up and we need an emergency, we're stuck because all of our money is tied into the City Hall. So it's more than just hey, let's go out and build a new building. We know that. Yes, there's issues for sure. We're just trying to figure out the best solution possible for that.
Gotcha. Very good. So look forward to kind of what is next. I mean, what's a timeline for you on figuring some of these things out?
Yesterday, wanted to get it built.
Yeah, right.
It's just so. I mean, there's some local contractors that I think would be great resources for this. We have a lot of great people here in Clinton that could assist us with this, and really, it's not up to me. It's not up to our finance department. It's the council as a whole of what their direction is, where they want us to go with it. So I don't know. I think all of us are in the same boat. We came back frustrated that this was, it's going to be expensive, but when you actually get that number and it's like, oh, shoot, now what? We're kind of in that now what phase of where we're going to go from here. So
yeah, sure.
We'll
Understood.
see.
Yep, very good. Well, Taylor, let's also talk about Kiwanis Park. Of course, we have seen that equipment is torn down and it's just kind of a vacant space. What's the latest with Kiwanis Park?
Yeah, there's no playground there right now, which is kind of sad. But we've got everything ordered. It is actually being shipped here shortly. And the goal is as soon as it gets nice in spring, we're going to put that thing up. Because we debated, do we hurry up and rush and get it here for the winter? Well, that's just going to be another winter of it not having as much long life. And we're like, okay, yes, we want to get this up, but let's do it the right way, make sure everything's done correctly. So we're going to get that up, March, April, we'll be ready to go. So
all right.
It's just kind of in storage right now, getting ready to get shipped.
Now, does it come to Clinton and just sit here until we're ready to put it up?
Yep.
Where does it go, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, we worked a deal out with Miller Container, and they're going to give us some space in there because it's a lot. I mean, if you looked at those drawings, which I know you have, and I don't know if the viewers have, but it's a pretty substantial playground, and along with that comes with every single piece, every bolt, every it's wild, every slide. So
those things can be pretty big. So
yes,
get a lot of those. It's a lot of space.
Yeah. So they're helping us out. They're being a good neighbor, and they got some extra space out there. So we're going to store it out there over the winter. So,
nice, awesome. Will the city put that up, or do you have a contractor?
No, so that's part of the installation with them. They have a certified playground installer because part of that is the playground. You got to get all the grades done right, because then after the playground's in there, we talked about the poured in place rubber surfacing, where that's going to be a huge part of this project, and that'll be afterwards as well.
Okay.
And part of that too is we wouldn't be able to put that in with the weather and all that too, so that had a big impact on when we're going to do it. So
all right.
Yep.
Look forward to it. Very good.
Still ready to go. We're just waiting for the weather to turn.
Sure. Pardon me, Taylor. Let's finish up today talking about the Planning Commission. What's the Planning Commission planning these days?
Yeah, we still got a vacancy. I'll put that out there. If anybody's interested in getting away or looking at getting a way to get involved in local government, the Planning Commission is a great way to do that. We still have one vacancy. We meet once a month if needed. It seems like every month we're meeting now, but it's a volunteer position. You don't get paid for it, but you have a really cool position to make a difference in Clinton. And so we met last week. We've got we have a public hearing that's coming up in December. There's a residence that's interested in opening up a hair salon in her basement, so that'll be coming forward to the Planning Commission. And then one of the big things that's coming to Clinton is we need to update our residential building code, as well as our they call it the international building code, but our commercial one as well. We're going to be updating that. The state of Illinois has a new requirement that each municipality needs to be within the last 9 years of the current version. We're still on the year 2000, so we're a little bit behind. So I think we're going to be moving that up to the year 2021. It just gives us different options and how to hold contractors accountable for new buildings, and we have a great building inspector. His name is Brian Adams. He's doing a great job for us. So it's really just bringing Clinton back up and being compliant with the state of Illinois. So it's all good stuff.
All right, Taylor. Well, great stuff as always. Thanks for coming out this morning, and happy holidays to you and yours.
Thanks, Seth. Appreciate it.
See you in December. Taylor Baxter, City Administrator, our guest in studio here this morning, following up the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting. We streamed to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news on the way on the morning show.